Hi, I'm George Zamka, STS-130 Commander. You're watching NASA TV.
Good morning, Endeavour. And a special good morning to you today, George.
Good morning, Shannon. It's a beautiful day up here in Endeavour. Thanks very much for that song, and thanks to my beautiful wife, Elisa, and Devin and Alan.
And you're very welcome. We're all excited about Rendezvous Day.
Just before, Commander Jeff Williams and his crewmates have their first daily planning conference. They'll be touching base with their several flight control teams around the world and getting an update on the plan provided them for this day's activities.
Earlier, Jeff Williams and Mission Control were discussing the day's events in which Williams and Station Flight Engineer Oleg Kotov will be involved in documenting the approach of the Space Shuttle Endeavour to the station, specifically mapping out pictures of Endeavour's heat shield, looking at the thermal protection tiles on the top side and underside of Endeavour, so that that imagery can be downlinked to experts on the ground for analysis and a determination of the health of the heat shield. This is now a view inside the Space Shuttle Endeavour on the aft flight deck, astronaut Kay Heyer floating into view. She's been working on preparing for a rendezvous and docking of the Space Shuttle to the International Space Station, along with Endeavour's commander George Zamka and pilot Terry Virts. This is a view from a camera inside Endeavour's payload bay looking at the orbiter docking system. This is the portion of the Space Shuttle that links up to the International Space Station, as all the crew members are getting ready for docking to the International Space Station. There, Patrick in view again, waving to the camera. And there, the terminal initiation burn using Endeavour's orbital maneuvering system engine. This is Mission Control Houston with a view from a video camera on the outside of the International Space Station, looking at the Space Shuttle Endeavour with the horizon of the Earth below. Endeavour is behind the International Space Station at a distance of about 27,000 feet, or about a little more than 5 statute miles away. Two vehicles are orbiting about 215 statute miles above the Earth, passing into an orbital sunset over the South Pacific Ocean, about to cross over South America. We're now 2 hours away from docking of the Space Shuttle Endeavour to the International Space Station. This is a view from a camera on the outside of the International Space Station, continuing to watch the Space Shuttle Endeavour as it approaches the complex.
JHL report, it's within 6 feet of TCS and .02 of the RDOT. It's working out pretty good.
We copy, Endeavor. Thanks for the update.
Endeavor's pilot Terry Vertz giving a status using the handheld laser to provide some information about the rendezvous of the space shuttle with the International Space Station. This is Mission Control Houston with a view again from the centerline camera in Endeavor's orbiter docking system. This is a snapshot of that view from the video camera looking up at the International Space Station. Endeavor is about 1,600 feet away from the complex.
Endeavor Houston on a big loop. You are go inside 600 feet.
Endeavor copies. Go inside 600 feet.
This is a view of the Space Shuttle Endeavour from a camera on board the International Space Station. And the outboard truss structure, camera mounted looking down at the Space Shuttle, which is approaching the 600-foot mark where Endeavour's commander George Zamko will pause for the R-bar or rendezvous pitch maneuver to conduct a 9-minute backflip, showing the different sides and upper and lower surface of Endeavour to the station, where station crew members Jeff Williams and Oleg Kotov are positioned with digital cameras to photograph Endeavour's heat shield. Endeavour and the International Space Station are orbiting about 216 statute miles above the Earth over the Pacific Ocean just to the east of the Philippines. The Space Shuttle Endeavour is continuing through this maneuver, a 9-minute backflip called the Rendezvous Pitch Maneuver, or R-bar Pitch Maneuver. Going through that prescribed mapping of the underside of Endeavour, looking at the thermal protection system tiles.
As soon as I call that up, that TCS did switch to CW. We'd like you to keep those steps handy, but for now it's looking good and no action will be required.
Copy, EJ. Just let me know if it is.
We'll let you know. Thanks a lot.
This is a view from the video camera inside the orbiter docking system on Endeavour. It's a snapshot from that camera, being updated periodically, looking at the International Space Station.
Endeavour Houston, on a big loop, you are go for docking.
Great news, CJ. Thanks. Go for docking. .204 feet, .09.
Copy, Endeavour.
This is Mission Control Houston, now with a live view inside the Space Shuttle Endeavour. Commander George Zamka at the controls, flying Endeavour towards the International Space Station.
Endeavour Houston, air to ground 2. We're coming on board on the flight deck.
Copy that, CJ. Thanks for the heads up.
Commander George Zamka continuing to use the centerline camera view for
29
precise
feet,
alignment.
.08.
We copy, Endeavour.
And Houston and Station, we're initiating final approach.
Houston copies.
Station up.
Zamka has confirmed the alignment with the International Space Station. These updated snapshots from video cameras on board Endeavour showing the vehicle getting closer and closer to the International Space Station.
Endeavour Houston, for Terry, please hit pause.
Station in Houston, capture confirmed.
Houston copies.
Docking confirmed at 11:06 p.m.
Endeavour
Central
Houston
Time.
Station, free drift confirmed.
Endeavour copies, free drift confirmed.
This is a view from a video camera on the outside of the International Space Station. The Space Shuttle Endeavour is just visible as the two spacecraft are passing through an orbital sunrise. Things will lighten up.
Endeavour Houston, air to ground 2. We are locked up solid now, so we'll take all the docking system stuff and any shuttle-specific calls over on this loop. We are ready for a 6.109.
Okay, here comes steps 1, 5, and 6.
This is Mission Control Houston. The crew on board the Space Shuttle Endeavour is standing by to continue with the procedure to retract the orbiter docking ring. There is still a little bit of relative motion seen between the two spacecraft, and that is not unexpected. And it takes just a while for that to dampen out, usually within 30 minutes or less, before they can continue on with the procedure to pull that ring into the orbiter docking system for the final set of latches to connect the two spacecraft.
Houston, Endeavour, we're ready for step 19.
Endeavour, we concur. Thanks for the tag up.
Sambo, welcome.
Hey,
welcome.
Soichi, how you doing?
Oh, long time no
Good
see.
to see you. Oh, man,
All right.
you look great.
Good.
You guys look awesome. I think I last saw you before Christmas.
I know.
Hey, man, you got your legs. I don't have mine yet. Hey, TJ, how you doing? Good to see you.
Terry, Ohio. Thank you, this guy.
Awesome. Good to see you.
How's it going? Good. TJ, good to see you again. Good to see you. All right. Ramon, pretty good. How's it going?
Welcome.
All right, looking great. Thank you. Look at
Great.
How are you? Good to see you. All right. Hey, how's it going?
Roomy, how goes it? Really, really well, actually.
Good to see you. Hey, how are you? All right. Welcome aboard. Thanks. All right. Yet? Stevie,
Dude, hello, Penguin.
Absolutely.
How are you? Not too bad.
Great. Hello, TJ. Good to see you. Good to see you.
My vacuum chamber partner.
Like I said, you won't be spending a whole lot of time in there, but we'll cover it in a little bit more detail later. There's also a caution warning panel back there, and there's two ATUs, one at this end, just to the right of the hatch, and one at the far end. In the gem, we've got emergency equipment. As soon as you go through the hatch, look up, and it's there. And there's another set at the far end before you go into the JLP. You look up, and you'll see the red markings. And then up in the JLP, way in the back, it won't do you much good because you probably wouldn't find it anyway. There's a fire extinguisher behind the panel. I think we're going to be, no, we're not going to be moving that.
We're back now with a live view inside the Space Shuttle Flight Control Room, where the team on the ground is watching over robotics operations as the Space Station robotic arm moves in to grapple the shuttle's orbiter boom sensor system to get ready to hand it off to the Space Shuttle robotic arm, which, because of the configuration of the station at this point, doesn't have a good access to pick that extension up by itself. This is Mission Control Houston looking at a live view of the robotics work going on both the space station and space shuttle side of the hatches that were opened earlier this morning. Hatch opening took place at 1:16 a.m. Central Time after an 11:06 p.m. docking of Endeavour to the International Space Station. And as you can probably tell from all the conversations going on, there's quite a bit of work already happening between the two crews. This particular bit of work that we're witnessing here is the transfer of the handoff of the orbiter boom sensor system to the Space Shuttle's robotic arm from the Space Station robotic arm. Some of the other work going on includes the transfer from the Glacier freezer in the Space Shuttle. That's the General Laboratory Active Cryogenic ISS Experiment Refrigerator for its official name, shortened, of course, to Glacier. The crew's working to transfer some of the science experiments brought up by Endeavour in that freezer to the International Space Station. In particular, they're working on the samples brought up for the nanoskeleton experiment that is subtitled Production of High Performance Nanomaterials in Microgravity. Back now with a live view of the continuing robotics work that's going on the station and shuttle, with the Space Shuttle robotic arm moving in to grab onto the orbital boom sensor system currently being held by the Space Station robotic arm. Good view here of the station robotic arm holding on to that orbital boom sensor system in the middle, with on the edge of the screen the shuttle robotic arm, which you can't see but is moving in also to grab onto the end of the extension. Pilot Terry Virts and Mission Specialist Kay Hire continuing to maneuver the Space Shuttle robotic arm, and now along with it the orbital boom sensor system into place for the viewing of the Tranquility node installation during the first spacewalk of the mission on Flight Day 5. Its next actual work would be the Flight Day 6 focused inspection of the shuttle's heat shield. If that does prove to be necessary, mission managers here on the ground are thinking about that right now, and will be using the data that's been collected from various inspection methods and that's being studied right now by experts here on the ground to see if there's any indication of damage to the shuttle's heat shield. They'll be taking their findings into consideration as they make that decision, but the focus inspection, if it is necessary, would be on Flight Day 6.